In this lesson, we are going to learn how to solve literal equations. A literal equation means it is an equation with many variables in it. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's look at this first example. Solve the equation 2y plus 5x equals 6 for y. Alright, so let's go ahead and pause the movie and copy this equation into your notes. Press play when you're ready to move on. Okay, so we know we want to solve for y right here. But first, we need to get rid of this term over here. So to get rid of a positive 5x, I'm going to put in a negative 5x. Let's see what that does for us. I'll still have the 2y, the 5x's cancel, and I will have 6 minus 5x. Pause the movie and copy these steps into your notes. Great. Now we have one last step to do. Since I'm multiplying 2 times y, the inverse is to divide. So I have to divide every term in my equation on both sides by this 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and I now have the y by myself. 6 divided by 2 is 3, minus 5 halves x. Pause the movie and write these notes into your math notebook. Let's go on to the second example. We have negative 2x minus 3y is equal to 6, and they want us to solve for y. Pause the movie, try this one on your own, and then press play to check your work. Let's see how you did. Hopefully, you first saw that we needed to get rid of this negative 2x because we want y by itself. To get rid of the negative 2x, I'm going to put in a positive 2x. What I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. The negative 2x's cancel. I'm left with negative 3y equals 2x plus 6. Pause the movie and check your notes. See how you did so far. Alright, let's keep moving. Since we want y to be by itself, negative 3 is multiplying y. The inverse is to divide by a negative 3. Again, I'm multiplying by negative 3, so the inverse is to divide by negative 3. And I have to divide every term in the equation. So these negative 3 divided by negative 3 cancels, and I get y equals, so a 2 over negative 3 is going to be negative 2/3 x, and then 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2. So the correct answer should be y equals negative 2/3 x minus 2. Pause the movie, check your notes, and make any adjustments or any changes so that you have the correct example in your notes. Now it's time to try some on your own. Pause the movie, solve these 3 equations, and get them checked by your teacher. When you have 100%, you can move on. Let's look at this last problem. We want to solve for F, or for Fahrenheit. How are we going to go about doing that? Well, the first thing I would do is multiply through by 9. This will eliminate the fraction and make things a little easier to deal with. Go ahead and pause the movie, copy the equation, and multiply through by 9. So you should have gotten 9c is equal to, in this case the 9's cancel, so 5 times f minus 32. At this point, I'm trying to solve for f. So let's go ahead and distribute the 5 to the f to get 5f minus 32 times 5, which is 160. 60. So we still want f by itself. Let's add 160 to both sides. And we can now get 9c plus 160 is equal to 5f. Last but not least, we need to divide everything through by 5. So the 5's cancel, and we can see that f is equal to 160 divided by 5. Well, we knew that 5 times 32 is 160. So 160 divided by 5 is 32 plus 9 over 5c. So now we just learned the conversion for given Celsius, what it would give us in Fahrenheit. And that's a perfect example of how we use this strategy for all sorts of real-world math problems. Go ahead and pause the movie and make sure you have all of these steps in your notes. Now it's time for you to try some problems. I would like for you to do problems 3 and then 5 through 11. Again, numbers 3 and then 5 through 11. When you're finished, you may check your answers with your teacher. Good luck!